Good morning. Happy Easter. I hope you're having a great life. Hey, I'm in Cañas Gordas, Colombia, one of the best places I've ever been in 26 years of living in different places. I've been to 114 countries, and today I'm in Cañas Gordas. Cañas Gordas, which literally kind of means fat bamboo. And they have really big bamboo here. And it's always amazing when I see bamboo because it's a construction material and people normally, it's very hard to find because everybody uses it, right? But I'm going to talk today about artificial intelligence. And I've been using this now for, I guess I use I better get it right. There's two different things I'm using, and I'm trying to add more, but different types of it. Because what happens is my understanding of artificial intelligence is these different systems are going to replace, in a lot of ways, Google. Okay, and that's their big fear is that it will replace Google. Okay, so you got this one which is I don't know. Let me open it up because I'm always going to get these Mac mixed up. They call it Chat GPT. It's not an acronym, an abbreviation for something, GPT, but it's really the website is openai.com. Openai.com, and these are two I use. I use Perplexity, which is I even asked them. I got part of the thing today is going to be about it. Perplexity. I better check the URLs to make sure they didn't play. But they also call it AI. But I don't know. But they're both seem to be free. Then you got these upgrades. So these systems are what they call a freemium premium system. Normally what you do is you pay to do it. It's like Grammarly. I think I paid the $20 for Grammarly, even though Grammarly is really intrusive. I mean, it really intrudes on my pages. It's really can be very annoying. But all of these are a type. So I have, I guess, three different artificial intelligence I'm using, and I will continue to do it. I'm trying to do the one to X, but because I'm not in the country, I cannot use it. So when I go in the United States, I will try to sign up and see. But I don't know. I don't know all the different names of these, and they're really quite annoying to study because everybody talks with forked tongue. Okay. um, but my saying today is artificial intelligence would annoy John Wayne and Clint Eastwood a lot. Okay, I just don't know what to say about these services sometimes because I don't really feel right now that they are going to do much as far as they definitely can make a writer such as me a better writer if they're already a pretty good writer and they want to actually be a writer. Okay, if you just want to be a hack, which is about from the looks of it on journalism, it's about 99% of them have zero moral values. Their moral turpitude is horrible. Therefore, they uh, they can really benefit by writing articles that are worthless, which is as it appears I'm going to have to say 98%, 1 in 50 people may want to be an honest person, and the other 49 want to say anything to make money. Okay. um, I'm going to drink a little coffee here. I try to drink out of glass anymore and I try to really avoid the plastic. I have no chemicals on my body. I'm going to shave my head pretty soon, I think, because my hair's not growing at the same level, and I'm thinking I need to test it for sure to make sure that I didn't accidentally, cut it differently. But if I not shave it, but I'm going to use it really, I will never put shaving cream on my head. I think that's a great way to go brain dead. Okay, but John Wayne and Clint Eastwood are what you would call kind of blunt speakers. make my day or whatever, right? And John Wayne and these guys are actually they're insulting these people's acting as they are being, I guess they're shaming people. But what, as a philosopher, a person that has a desire to always seek the truth, I enjoy very blunt, brutal honesty. I truly believe that honesty is, in short, it's becoming unfashionable. Okay, it's becoming fashionable to be a troll and cancel people and being the bad boy in class, the naughty boy, the naughty girl, the person that I would really like Candace Owen to stop interviewing these really wanker people. Okay, I think she has a better mind than that. She could actually find. I know that a lot of this is trendy stuff and whatever, and she approaches it in a very straightforward, honest way. And we need this, and maybe Ben Shapiro and all these guys. I don't know. Getting in arguments is there's a value where if you're arguing with an idiot, you become an idiot. Okay, so but don't worry about AI. Artificial intelligence right now is really just what I've been doing for the last, I don't know, 25 years. All my life, I've been assimilating different information and combining it together and creating a rational argument. And what they do, but the thing that AI does is AI isn't capable of discerning between honesty and thing. It's very, very woke. Okay, what I'm saying by woke, I don't know. That's not a very good word in a way. It's a very ambiguous word. But what they do is they don't want to offend anybody. Okay, and you can't ask them any serious questions. What I do think of value for AI that could put a lot of professors out of business is they could do some research. Drastically, they could scrape the internet and pull together some information that would be relatively a good guide. That thing, because what's bad about professors is they have to be published. So they do this what they consider like unique research, and then they publish it, and most of it is not, even that 80% is a waste of good money, right? But I better put this phone down because I'm looking at that. Okay, but don't worry about AI. Right now, it's not a big deal. And can it become a sentient person? Like, can it become where it actually can differentiate between the truth and a lie? I'm not sure. And I hope it does. And I hope that Elon Musk can do it. I think Elon Musk has I'm not sure really. I don't read any of this trendy stuff, right? So I really don't care. I don't normally research anything until it just sort of forces itself into my awareness, because otherwise it's too trendy, and everything trendy is really for the children, okay? Okay, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about AI. Hard to get a truthful sentence out of it. The AI is lucky if it can tell anything of impact that's truthful. I mean, it can do some great research if you just want to know how tall the Eiffel Tower is, or you just want some extremely factual stuff. Facts are something that 98% of people are going to agree on, okay? Climate change is not a fact. Okay, it's an opinion. Okay, but when it becomes a fact, it becomes such an obvious situation that nobody's really doing it. But even facts can be overturned, right? I'm going to give you some funny things that I've been trying to ask on AI, and this is hilarious in a lot of ways. A friend told me to ask how to find travelers, and I was laughing because I didn't want to say, but the last thing I really want to find is another traveler, okay? First of all, why do you believe I want to talk to travelers, read and watch videos or travel? Everybody's always recommending to me traveler stuff, and they haven't really got in sync with my mind. Okay, I like to. Don't get me wrong. I'm always interested in extremely esoteric type travel, like fly fishing in Libya, uh, Kazakhstan. Anything to do with something on the internet. Normally, anything on YouTube, I'm not interested in. Anything that you do get a few articles, but there's a bridge over here between what they think is travel is to me is just trendy bullshit. Okay, but there is cultural stuff that's really unique that I do enjoy. Okay, and cultural stuff is not what they're not 99% of these people are wanting me to pay attention to. They're wanting to pay attention to some what I would consider very fad and trendy stuff. And most travelers are 95% of travelers are searching for women or men and or wanted to talk about dogs or something or motorcycles. Motorcycles are the big one. A lot of men have a infatuation with women on motorcycles traveling. It's not travel, it's sexual attraction, guys. Okay, okay, but it's always funny. So that was one of the things that somebody told me to do on AI, which is I actually did use the AI in a way. I said, where can I find philosophers congregating in different locations that are not that are um, you know, experiencing the world in a very thing. Like I would like to find philosophers traveling in Mongolia, okay, or maybe in Libya, okay. But these are some funny questions that you can ask AI, and I got some of the answers. And I have I'm sort of writing out notes on Google Docs, and I have an index on my homepage to my YouTube channel. It's the first link, and you can go find a lot of this writing. Okay, but these are some questions that I'm writing, and I'll put the link in there, and I'll put it under you in my description, and it will be says notes, and it's not in that big an order. Okay, but these are some funny things I've been asking AI, and it just radically drops the ball. Okay, but these are simple questions that are more complicated to ask that I would really like it to do, other than just to say do some proofreading. So what I'm doing mostly right now is I'm using AI as a copy editor, and a copy editor that doesn't cost, and a copy editor that is smart, and is copy editor that is not. Most copy editors and proofreaders are much more opinionated than AI. Okay, and that is the problem. Okay, you always have a window of experiences when a person's proofreading or being a copy editor that they're capable of. Most of the copy editors that would ever for me don't have a big enough global geopolitical understanding footprint. They don't have any experience other than their own little community, and they really, I would have to explain every little alluded, what I'm alluding to them, and they really don't, they can't grasp this. But these are some funny questions that I've been asking AI. I did it today. I had fun this morning about 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up about, I don't know, right now it's between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. And I really enjoy this, what the philosophers like to call solitude, which is I have solitude 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm always capable of going into my mental state and keeping the world out. I live in a little bubble where if I want to turn off the input, I can. And I'm alone in my thinking. I'm not easily influenced. But these are some funny questions. Does the TV series Young Sheldon, taken from the Big Bang Theory, I think that's it, Sheldon Cooper that was in the Big Bang Theory, does in the TV series Young Sheldon, do they add a sexy character to the show like Penny from the Big Bang Theory in season 2, 3, or 4? Okay, and it's a real question because they're not really. I mean, it's a very it's a really great show. And the Chuck Lorre, whatever the writer, he's puts on some really excellent TV shows. I think it's Chuck Lorre. Okay, I don't know how to say his name, but he is excellent, and I think he did Last Man Standing. He did The Big Bang Theory. He's done a lot of what I would consider simpatico with me TV series. Funny, because I don't really like to watch comedy. Okay, I don't watch much comedy. But the answer was no, as far as the AI says. But who can trust AI on these questions? Because the AI isn't really capable of doing, it does just a cursory search. It does really good on something that is very, very long term, like Shakespeare maybe, or something. But anything current, nah, just doesn't. And it always wants to act like, why are you asking a question about sexy girls? Well, guess what? They put sexy girls in these TV shows, and then they don't talk about the fact that she's sexy, so nobody brings it to their first level of consciousness. But the minute that I see a babe dressed up sexy, I I always admire the travel writers, the TV writers, because they're appealing to our more baser set. But the thing was, Penny was really special. Okay, and I really enjoy her. There's certain women in that I consider their acting. Deborah Winger, I just watched in Cannery Row, which is just spectacular. I love Sandra Bullock. I could say I like Shakira dancing, but I don't know if I'd like her talking. Okay, there's a TV series. No, so they say no. Calculate how many billions of dollars would be saved by the U.S. government if the U.S. government required all house numbers to be 4 inches in height or higher. I've been trying to lobby for this in Fort Wayne, Indiana for the last, 30 years. The biggest expense and the biggest use of gas is when people are driving around looking for a house and they can't find it because the house number isn't big enough to see, or they put it in an awkward location. To me, they should always have a standard location for a thing. Now, the problem is that anybody could go in business with Amazon easy if they could deliver products. But one of the biggest things that happens is that the house numbers are small. And I was a real estate broker, and I used to sit there and laugh at people because they would tell me their house number, then they wouldn't even have a house number on their house. And you're going, do you really realize how silly this is? But how many times do you drive by a property because you can't see the number? So the number's got to be about 4 to 5 inches tall. And I think it should be somehow a thing by the U.S. government, so that as a universal thing, we try to classify the house number so that people, when they give out this number for a pizza, a delivery or something, people can find it, and it would save billions of dollars in gas. Okay, but the other thing it would save how many lives a year? How many people stop their car right in the middle of the road and get slammed, right? So many people are trying to find locations. Generally, when I want to find a hotel in a big city like Kuala Lumpur or something, I go walking around at night because that's the only time you can actually see the hotel signs easily. Hotel signs are often, ridiculous, the way they market them. But you would save lives and money. Billions of dollars, absolutely billions of dollars. If all the cities in the United States or the world, just think in the world, how many trillions of dollars would they save? I always laugh, how to find an address in India. The only thing you can do is, you can't even know what city, but they have signs above the things sometimes that say the name of the address. Because most of the countries on the planet, it's ridiculous. And everybody's going around using Google Maps. It doesn't work, okay? It's kind of hilarious. But you can't find houses anymore. And this is why Airbnb is really dangerous, okay? Because I don't know how many times I've tried to help somebody to find Airbnb, and it's just ridiculous, okay? And you don't want to be wandering around in Mexico 8 o'clock at night looking for an Airbnb that has no address on the house, no street lights, I mean, it's just dangerous. Okay. Okay. But how many lives have you saved? Okay. I also asked Seth, give this perplexity. I said, give me 20 photos of Penny from the Big Bang Theory dressed sexy. And it did give me about 6 photos. And one of them was kind of sexy. But this is where they're trying to compete with Google. And a lot of Google is probably 85% of the Google searches are not about knowledge. They're really about something to do with fashionable, like Justin Bieber or some of these people that I don't really know anything about. The woman I was dating last year in Lake Athlon knew all these people, and I used to ask her questions. It was kind of sad that she knew the answers, right? But another question I asked, give me a food that can provide a similar emotional rush to French fries, but in a healthier way. And it says it's a baked sweet potato fries, which is probably true. Now I would have asked the second question. It's like, in what dream world can I just go buy these easily? Okay. I would like to ask the secondary question. Give me a food that is readily available on 90% of the planet in any almost location that is a great substitute for French fries that gives me the same sort of kind of emotional comfort food rush. They just give me a platitude thing, right? Next question was, how to flirt with a girl in an appropriate way that works better than whistling at them. It said it gave me an answer: to flirt with a girl without resorting to inappropriate actions like whistling. You can focus on respectful and engaging. What I have found when you're flirting with girls, if you're going to, there's 2 different ways they do it on the planet. One is they go, which is, I think they use that in Colombia, and whistle. But you can also, one of the easier ways, which is more respectful, is you can just say, hello, or hola, okay, which is the same thing as a whistle, is to bring the attention to you. Okay, and whatever you do when you're whistling, or hola, hola, amiga, hola, senorita, hello, how are you? Whenever you do it, do not walk towards the girl. That is probably inappropriate. But getting their attention is absolutely, in my opinion, part of flirting. Okay, and the AI thing basically gave me a lecture on I was inappropriate, right? Which I'm laughing, because anybody that tries to be appropriate on flirting with the United States girl or European girls is going to go home alone for the rest of their life. Okay, because they will always come up with a way that you are wrong. And my advice is, be an alpha male or a sigma male or whatever they're calling these things. But the AI is so, I don't know. The gay guys, which is interesting, the transgender, the gay guys, and the lady boys have complete leisure to flirt all they want, and nobody complains about it. These guys are absolutely obnoxious. When you go to Thailand, these lady boys are really annoying. Gay guys, when I first got attacked in a way by gay guys in the Indiana University Bloomington Commons area, it was horrible. Okay, when I was 18, I looked like 16. Okay, the next question I ask it: why are all Stoic philosopher videos on YouTube sound like a horse-speaking grandfather rather to give me a lecture on pissing in the garden? Yeah, but hey, white kids, why are you pissing in the garden? Have you ever had that? I mean, all the opposite of realistic. And I mean, the AI, I put some of these answers at the bottom, and I didn't put all of them, but I put a few of them. I think I put this one down. It's quite funny, because they said that they're trying to appeal to a certain thing, blah, 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 and it's just crap, okay? What they're trying to do is maneuver me by acting like the sound of a voice means that the person is smarter. there's no correlation really with the wisdom of a person and the sound of their voice. The way they talk, maybe, and how they articulate, and the succinctness of the thing, maybe. But the bigger the words, the bigger the idiot in a lot of ways. A really smart person realizes that the goal is to communicate. Okay, it is not. People often want me to talk better Spanish, and I sit there and I go, I'm constantly improving my Spanish. And they go, well, you can talk better. And I go, I can only improve at the rate I improve. Okay, they act like I'm as good at Spanish as there's these natural people that learn languages. Like I learn a computer, I don't have to think anything about a computer. But on languages, I have to continually progress. I compute, but when I asked this question about Stoic, they gave a really respectful to the Stoic philosophers, as if they are not trying to encourage us to be. I don't know. This is like most of these guys are from 400 BC, right? And you sit there and go, can you come up with a Stoic opinion that doesn't try? Okay, what they're doing, see, on these things, which is funny, is I call it coattail jumping. Coattail jumping is when you find a very important person like Plato or Aristotle or I don't care, whoever, Diogenes or Henry David Thoreau, and you jump on their coattail and you try to become famous at their expense. Okay, I'm gonna have a really funny thing about Henry David Thoreau because I asked this question too. Why are and they don't realize that it's very annoying to me to not talk in an authentic voice, and especially annoying when you put that misophonia music in the background. I want straightforward, honest, without maneuvering me. Okay, and that's what they're doing. They're all maneuvering. All they want to do is jump on the coattail and make a bunch of money by trying to get a bunch of traffic by you reading all their thing. And most of them it's too easy. They do their journalism. They're churning the same quotes. Do you think naming AI Perplexity was wise? Here's the question, because my one service I use is Perplexity. Was wise. It is not easy to spell, and when people search for it, they will misspell it. And they said, well, we used it as an intriguing, enigmatic way to blah, blah, blah. And my follow-up question was, are you actually trying to get rid of certain types of people? Okay, because what you want, especially when you have a new AI, is you want the cream de creme to get on there and give a good speak about it. You don't want the average Joe Blow on there that can't understand it and basically criticizes it. Really big problem when you have an app. They really do game the whole system, which is kind of sad. I had a lot of people, when you have anything on Amazon or you have an app, there's many people just approach you all the time on how to game the system. Like I get like 3 emails a day on how to game the YouTube videos. Okay, and it's ridiculous. I do think you need to have it found, which is not gaming, which is search engine optimized. But on the other side is, who cares? If you're not rich enough that you have to suck by maneuvering people, you're not really a good person anyway. How many, here's a question I asked, how many university professors could we get rid of using AI? I'm guessing that in the next 5 to 10 years, 50% of the university professors will hopefully be replaced. Okay, and I hope they go into a status of just being a non-research professor, because 90% of these research things they're doing are ridiculous. Okay, they're getting grants for things that should never be done. Okay, and maybe we can have AI do it in 15 minutes and it wouldn't be a big deal. I'm going to put in a thing. As a person that has paid for tech and coders for the last, 30 years, I would highly say I don't know one that I would trust to watch my children. Okay. When I became a lifeguard at Indiana University, the guy that taught life saving was really good, and he said a lot of people didn't get recertified, and they were Red Cross or some sort of certification, And he says, if I won't trust you to watch my children at the swimming pool, you are not getting certified. Oh man, there was guys crying and women crying. People didn't get certified. He says, if I don't see you as trustworthy to watch my children. And this is a good question when you're talking to somebody. Would I trust them to watch my children? Okay. And a lot of people want somebody that actually is dangerous, okay, which is kind of sad because they want the person that doesn't have the will to tell the truth. Okay, they want somebody that's always patronizing, that's always telling them what they want to hear. I would never hire a tech to watch my children. I don't know any. Does Andy Lee Graham, travel writer, blogger, CEO, blah, 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 care what people think that he's stupid? They gave a really kind of diplomatic answer and blah, 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 and whatever. But, I have talked about trolls so many times that they don't equate that a troll even is a stupid person, right? They don't consider a troll an opinion, or they ignore the trolls, right? And I really have trouble with a lot of people. I have a lot of trouble with the people that are in love with dogs. I have the people that want to be a troll. I have trouble with anybody that doesn't prioritize humans above anything else, okay? And I really, anybody that celebrates a clever lies, I erase that type of person from my life. Okay, here's a great question. Do you think talking to AI is better than talking to a person that I would consider stupid? So if I had a choice between talking to an AI or a stupid person, what would I rather do? I would rather talk to the person, because you can learn more from a stupid person talking to them in a dialogue than you can from AI ever, because you learn from experience. I want 25% of us to have experiences, but I want 25% of your time being talked to what you can normally consider I don't know, the riffraff, the society, the masses, the general population, anybody and everybody you get near, because these people challenge your understanding of human nature. Okay, so I would say that, but they basically tried to give me a lecture on never call a person stupid, right? AI right now is creating a bunch of what they call feedback loops. It's kind of a cognitive bias, but what happens is AI finds a consensus of articles saying that Joe Biden's an idiot or Donald Trump's an idiot, and then these people that write all these fake news things, and so it's very good at collecting trending fake news, which is not anything of value, in my opinion. I mean, if you want to read clickbait, somebody got abducted by Martians or cloud, what do they call those things where different things. But there's a lot of conspiracy theories and things that are promoted with AI and people. And that's where, in a way, Facebook and Instagram and X are places where nasty opinions thrive. Okay. Here's a real important question that I wrote about in university. If God is all-knowing, I think it's omniscient, all-powerful, omnipotent, and all good, I don't know what the word for that is, why does he want to be worshipped? Is this a personal problem? Well, they didn't like that question. AI did not like that question. He says, no, it's kind of like nobody ever has a personal problem. But to me, the desire to be worshipped is a little strange. It's like a lot of people don't understand that, to me, to have comments below my YouTube channel is the kind of the desire to be worshipped, okay? And I don't know why, because only 1 in 100 of these comments is actually worth reading. So I got to read 99 really ridiculous comments to get one good one, which is not worth the energy. I can go search on Perplexity or ChatGPT and get a lot faster answers. Does a person who talks to dogs, I asked this question, does a person who talks to dogs, none of these questions got answered. Okay, and you can come up with 1,000 questions where it just really is not capable of doing any good. And the bad part is most of the answers when you get a complex question are so off track that they're not even worth reading. Does a person who talks to dogs in a full sentence have personal problems? Give me another really nice answer. And I'm sitting there going, they basically said that, these people need to talk to somebody, so the dog's better than nobody, which is maybe true. I don't know. But talking in full sentences to dogs is, to me, a little bit like talking to yourself out loud, right? And I get worried when anybody's talking to themselves out loud, because it's almost a sure signal worldwide that somebody's absolutely crazy if you see them walking down the road talking to themselves. I'm always checking anymore to see if they got that little white thing. There's this universal white thing which tells me not to talk to them, and that they're wearing in their ear. It's like a YouTube, I don't know, Bluetooth thing. When I see that, I say, okay, just say no, Andy. Okay, here's a funny one of a recent experience. Is Motel 6 a good target for purchase by a larger hotel chain? Now, I didn't ask the thing, but I would have liked to ask it, because I would have got a worthless answer. But I've been calling Motel 6 in Fort Lauderdale for the last 3 days, trying to talk to Mona, my one friend that arrived there, this 80 years old. And I can tell you that the people they have working, it's better to be talking to a computer. Okay, I can tell you that talking to a computer is smarter than these people. Okay, they are not even, I don't know where they came from. Most of them barely talk English. 80% were from a foreign country that didn't understand English. And even when I said the room number and the name, and I spell it out, learning to spell in a foreign language is like the last thing you learn how to do. I could spell in Spanish, but I tried to spell the name out, and they didn't. Even the culturally deprived children that were answering in the middle of the night didn't. But I would say Motel 6, you can almost tell the quality of a hotel by the staff. How many times does Dave, I asked this question, I didn't ask this question. How many times does Dave Chappelle say the F word and the N word in a comedy routine in 1 hour? And they would have gave me a warning there if I would have asked and used the words. They'll say, you are violating the terms of service, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of humorous, okay? You're talking to yourself, and you're violating the terms of service. I asked this question, did President Obama outlaw the word in Spanish called negro from being used in government documents? Okay, he made it. The word for black in Spanish is negro, okay? And he made it, which is, say 20% of the population of the United States is Spanish. He's outlawing a word, but he didn't really outlaw a word. He tried, I guess in the delineation of this, he said that he's trying to change the words like Oriental and Negro, whatever, I don't know how to say it in English, but to a word that is more socially compatible, which is, if they change the current ones and the future ones, I'm fine with it. If they want to revise history, I think they're really doing the wrong thing. The idea that you get rid of these statues and stuff is just childish. Okay, that's like, let's edit history. Which philosopher said, if you don't make a person mad, you're not a philosopher? I'll tell you the answer is Diogenes. And the actual AI answered it correctly. But anything it's talking about from like, I don't know, 500 years or more back, it does pretty good. This is the one I'd really like to know, and I think they ought to do a research studies on this, because it's one of the signals of intelligence. What percentage of people use the context part of their email box? And you can also ask the question, what percentage of people are reading their email? I would say like 1 in 25 people maybe sort of checks their email. 1 in 50 or 100 read it every single day, and they check all their email. I tend not to send emails to people because they're not capable of monitoring their emails. They're not even capable of monitoring their WhatsApp or Facebook chats or Instagram chats. I don't know what they are capable of. I consider 1 in 20 people on the thinking, decision making side, and the other ones are in the entertainment phase of life. Uh, why I ask the question, and I can do this. This is really pretty one great use of Chat GTP. Why don't I use Chat GTP to reorganize this page? Well, when I do it, what they do is they leave out 2 or 3 things that they leave out stuff, and they can reorganize all the words, and you can sit there and say include every single sentence, and they still don't do it. Okay. But it does do a pretty good job. If you go into sections like say 10 different things, and you said reorganize it in a logical way, it'll do it. It works pretty good. As an opinion, why would I want the opinion of a machine made by Google, Apple, or Facebook, or any of these companies? On a follow-up answer, why would you be eating food designed by corporations? Corporations have no morals, no values. They're meant to make money for the corporation, and they really have almost no value. They're the opposite of values. If you want values, you got to have a single person owned corporation that he or she owns 80% of it, or just a private enterprise. Passive aggressive but fun. AI is extremely passive aggressive. Very amazing. I could do a psychological analysis of artificial intelligence. It is hilarious. And anybody, but generally very, very, the reverent people of AI are the ones that can't think or talk or write. Okay, because they couldn't. They're now in the game by having the AI think for them. I wanted to ask, artificial intelligence, is a wimp a protected class? Can I still talk about wimps in a thing? I was watching some Dave Chappelle. I did go look at Dave Chappelle and watch kind of about half of his video. And I don't like to watch these kinds of people because I don't think it makes me a better person. Okay, but his jokes are pretty funny. But he has no guilt whatsoever for anything he says online, and he shouldn't. I mean, he's just a comedian talking to the group. There is no truth in life. Very few people. What's interesting, and this is the funny part about Dave Chappelle, what Dave Chappelle is describing everybody in his audience, and everybody in his audience is clapping as if they're not the person he's talking about. And I can tell you, he's talking about everybody in the audience. There is no truth in life. I don't watch violent movies. I'm always laughing because AI would act like anything that you watch on these TV shows would be, how could you say something like that? And everything that they're saying on these TV shows and movies and stuff. Like I won't watch Breaking Bad. I won't watch John Wick. John Wick's got to be the worst television movie. I mean, the worst movie set I've ever seen. Okay, and to think that there's a big debate whether Keanu Reeves is gay. Okay, but I wanted to ask the question: is everybody in Hollywood gay? I wasn't brave enough to ask that question because AI is pretty much designed by everybody in Hollywood, right? But the best thing you can do, when I have a nephew and being a director, and I said to my mom, the best thing is if he comes back with a wife and children, okay? Because I want him to have nuclear family values. I don't want him to live his whole life not fitting in. That's what I really want. So I want people to feel like they fit in. Writing a screenplay or a novel is the only way to tell the truth. And you see this all the time. James Michener did this. Michael Crichton did this. Movies are all through about explaining cultures and the real cultures and they show it, but they don't sit around and have a discussion on it, and they don't make it up to comments. And therefore, they can get away with explaining what people agree on, but if there's in their subconscious they're agreeing, but not in their conscious, and this is why AI is funny. Um, uh, okay, I keep refining on knowledge. There's three types of people acquiring knowledge: the decision thinking people, the in process thinking, and the entertainees. The entertainees is going in one ear and out the other, and they never apply it. 1 in 5 of the decision thinking, they're listening to something I'm saying and they're making a decision whether it applies or doesn't apply, and they try to find a way to apply it to their life. Okay, but very few of them can actually go from listening to something to application. This is why that quote by the doctors is, see it, do it, teach it. This is such thing. If you really want to learn something, see what you're looking at, then go do it. Try to do whatever it's talking about. Then try to teach it. So I have like the start of, I don't know, 20 books, because I'm always starting to write a book about something. I'm writing one on super intelligence, that how we can be super intelligent. But the way to be super intelligent is to take your own good discernment in your brain and hook it up with AI, and you can catapult this into some heavy duty research. Okay. I've tried and tried. I cannot get AI to invent the word entertainees. Entertainees is somebody that shows up to be entertained. And it doesn't seem to be a word. Not because there is no test of life, 90% of people believe a stand-up comedian is talking about someone else. The entertainees, the people that showed up, do not do decision thinking. They're not saying, does this apply to me or doesn't apply to me? They understand the joke and they laugh at the joke, but they don't ever think, well, wait a minute, that applies to me. That the only ones that seem to take offense to it is the transgender, but I think they would take offense to anybody talking about them, because that's really what they want, is attention. Okay, most of these situations is a cry or scream for attention, not really acceptance. They want attention, and they don't really want anybody to agree with them. They want, I don't know what you want to call this. AI will not talk about you or me. I have written to AI, and it's interesting because you can start a conversation with AI and it sort of simulates a conversation. They got these chat bots that do this, and it's really, to me, they never work, okay? I do think that if you're just asking some drill down questions like about the culture of a country that's pretty well established as factual data, like, but I often sit there and say to AI, stop talking like a whim, write like a man, write like a woman that is mad at me. Women that are mad at me are much more honest than men, okay? If I really want an opinion, I normally try to talk to a woman. A woman can be 10 times more insulting than a man. Write like a person, I say, write like John Wayne, write like Clint Eastwood, write like somebody that is respected, that doesn't vacillate and evade, write these deflecting words. And it can't do that, okay? It just makes it so it's real easy to read, but says nothing, okay? But it always gives me a lecture when I write a derogatory word like the F word or whatever. I don't want to say F, but the AI will warn me on terms of service. That's funny. Laugh out loud. I asked, give me 30 words that opposite of woke wimp word. Gave me 30 more wimp words. Okay, didn't give me the opposite, the antonyms. I asked this question, well, give me 30 words. This is not dangerous, guys. What it is dangerous is that you're going to see an overwhelming amount of articles being written and videos being made, and everybody's going to act like AI is smarter than humans, okay? And they're not. But they are more manipulative, and this is the problem. In fact, I just got a thing I see on the YouTube channel that, are you using any sort of, I don't know, AI type thing to make these videos? But life is meat, and AI is non-confronting. The internet's non-confronting. Watching YouTube videos is not. Getting on social networks. This is the opposite of a a Renaissance man, a bohemian person, a polymath. A polymath is somebody that can deal with anybody and everybody. A really strong individual can deal with having 25% of the people they meet somebody new. 25% of their people that are their friends that they talk to is trusted confidence. And then, 25% from information and 25% from experience, just going out and see. Tom Bellew or whatever said it the other day in a good way. When's the last time you touched the grass? If you haven't touched the grass, you're lacking in experience totally. If you are not actually putting your feet and walking in dirt and ground, you need to get alive. Okay. I asked a question. How many people will say hello back to me in Odessa, Ukraine? Didn't have, well, blah, 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 blah. I got up to 42 people in Odessa, Ukraine, saying hello to them, and not one of them replied back. When I was in Medellin, Colombia, it was 9 and 10. What's interesting here in Cañas Gordas is about 9 and 10 say hello, which is one reason why I like Guatemala too. The Guatemalan people, it's about a 9 and 10. Of the expats in Lake Atitlan, it's only about 1 in 10 that actually will reply back, or the tourists. They are just about, I don't know. It's pretty fun in life. Life is fun, guys. And the great thing is you can have a real in-depth, challenging question, much better than Google and much more insightful. And you don't have to go through 8 articles generated just for traffic. I mean, even more. Forbes and all these guys are all, Scientific American. I subscribe to all these science newsletters, and they are all they care about is the money, okay? They do not care about the truth, the honesty, and that's kind of sad for a scientist. Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham, trying to tell you, don't be worried about artificial intelligence. Do be worried if anybody is in love with it and thinks that, and has a lot of respect for it, because that means they're very naive and they probably want to use the artificial intelligence. And 90% of the people that are using artificial intelligence are using it for nefarious reasons. Very few are using it to actually do their work and learn. Most people are trying to avoid work by having the AI do the puppy dog writing, which is going to make most people happy that don't have a discerning mind. Okay, but be careful when you get around somebody that actually has it. Eventually, we'll have AI that spots the AI. And it's just going to be a Charlie Foxtrot, which is military term for something. Go look up on your AI what Charlie Foxtrot means in military slang. I'm Andy Lee Graham. I'm always looking for Patreon members. I'm going to answer a question. I answer questions sent to me from Patreon supporters, and I'm going to answer one here shortly today from Richard Gedney. He's a good guy.